At Vertex, we know the pace of global commerce is increasing, which makes managing tax more complex. And your enterprise systems weren't built to handle that tax complexity. This is where we come in with our platform that enables continuous compliance, giving you more transparency, improved accuracy, and better confidence in your tax data. To learn more about continuous compliance, visit vertexinc.com.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Tuesday on which Liverpool are in Milan to take on AC in the Champions League. This is a glamour tie. Whether Milan are what they once were or not, and whether we are what we once were or not, this is two of the most successful teams in European football coming together. We obviously have great shared history with this club, from Istanbul, unfortunately then Athens. We each got one, we move. But, you know, we like to tout our European pedigree, so it's important to recognise theirs. 7-time European Cup winners. 1963, 1969, 1989 and 1990. That's the incredible Saki team. 94, Capello, when they wiped the floor with Johan Cruyff's dream team. And then 03 and 07 with Carlo Ancelotti. Amazingly, Paolo Maldini was part of 5 of them, from 89 to 07. What incredible longevity. And of course, they lost multiple finals in that time as well. You know, we've had obviously our own share of bad luck in finals, but so have they. And they've had bad luck when it comes to penalty shootouts, which we, thankfully enough, haven't had to cope with in finals. But we've lost 4 finals. They've lost 4 finals. They lost in 58. They lost in 93 to Marseille. Should have beaten Marseille. They lost in 95. They lost to Ajax. And then they lost in 05 to us. And I'm sure they believe to this day that they should have beaten us. But we will always believe we should have beaten them in 2007. But you've got 2 of the 4 teams who've won more than 5 Champions Leagues. Obviously, Barca have 5. It's ourselves and Bayern on 6 and Milan on 7, and then Real Madrid are playing their own competition and doing ridiculous things that no one else can even dream of. But behind that, behind Real, it's Milan, it's ourselves, and it's Bayern, then Barca, then Ajax. They've also won the European Cup Winners' Cup twice, 68 and 73. That's a competition, obviously, that we have never won. But we won the UEFA Cup, which they have never won. They've got 5 European Super Cups to their name. Obviously, we're no stranger to that tournament ourselves. We've won it 4 times. So this is European royalty. This is a glamour tie. You know, these are 2 of the biggest clubs in the world coming head to head at one of the great cathedrals of football. And when we drew them a couple of years ago, I said to people that were going, go and experience the ground because you might never get the chance again. And as fortune will have it, here's another opportunity for people who didn't get to go the last time, maybe, but are going this time to experience what that stadium is like. Now, it'll never be the same type of thing it was in the 80s and the early 90s when Serie A was at its peak. The place was packed week in, week out. It was a more modern ground at the time. Now it's quite dated and it's a little bit crumbly, and they're obviously working on alternatives, new stadium or whatever. So, but back in the day, it was a proper cathedral of football. So we played them tonight. It looks like the team is going to be potentially the same team that played the weekend. That's what a lot of people are suggesting. Maybe one change. I wouldn't be surprised if Curtis started in place of Alexis, just to give Alexis a rest, given he's carrying a knock. I think there's other areas where we could potentially look to make change, but I would like to see the players just be pushed to work it out and start to figure things out a little bit more. I'd like to see the midfield orientated more the way it was against United, where Alexis plays deeper and Gravenberch can play that bit higher, and we're not reliant on Gravenberch to try and progress the ball with his passing. We want him carrying the ball. That's where his strength is. And you want his passing in the final third, because then he can take more risks. He's far too risk adverse when he plays deeper. He doesn't want to give the ball away. And that's fine, but it also just doesn't help us. It's one of the reasons, obviously, that Zubimendi was such a big target for us. Alisson has hit out at the new Champions League format, saying that players' opinions don't matter. And he's right, like, the players weren't consulted on this. I don't particularly like it. I don't really see the point of it. I'm not sure what it accomplishes. I think the old system was absolutely fine. You know? I think the old system was fine. I think if you're going to do this, there has to be a way where games are taken out somewhere else. And I know that, like, our owners, and I think Arsenal's owners and United's owners are in favour of cutting the Premier League from 20 teams to 18 teams in the same way that the Bundesliga and the French League have gone. That would help reduce games. So that would take away 4 games. You'd play 34 league games instead of 38. And, like, the owners will frame that as trying to find balance in how many games have been played. But the truth of it is, the real reason they're doing it is because they know that the money is not going to drop. Even if you play less games, the TV contracts are going to be locked in. They're going to be able to get the same amount of money. They'll just charge more per game, but they'll also only be distributing between 18 teams rather than 20. So even if there is a slight drop off in the money, each team will still end up with more because you're removing 2 teams from the pot. It'll always be about money. And then Rodri has come out and agreed with Alisson, and he said that he believes that players are close to considering striking. Now, let me just say this. That will go down like a sack of shit. That will not work out well for players. There will not be much sympathy with players who are earning, certainly in the case of these 2 gentlemen, Alisson and Rodri, 200,000 a week or more. You're earning £10 million per year to kick a football around the place. Like, behave yourselves will be what a lot of people will view that as, because, like, I'm not saying they don't have to work incredibly hard. They do. They have to dedicate their entire lives to it. But they don't work harder than nurses do, than firemen do, than paramedics do. They don't have to sacrifice as much as them. They're not working night shifts. They're not putting themselves at risk. And yet they're earning an incredible amount more than these people are. So it won't sit well. Like we've had pushback against train drivers going on strike, looking to get fair market value for their skills, because the world has been weaponized, really, and we see a lot of anti-union sentiment, which I find a bit weird. Now, I don't know how I'd react to players going on strike. I think I would come down on the side of, you're getting paid stupid money, just, get on with it. Like, I understand that you claim you're tired, but if you play 55 games a year, it basically works out at 1 point minuscule amount per week across a year. But you still get quite an extended summer break. Even if there's a tournament on, you're still getting more holidays than most people are. And everything is done for you. Everything's laid on for you. Your life is a lot more simple than other people. You don't have the concerns that other people have when it comes to making their mortgage payment or the cost of living crisis and stuff like this. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you've got real concerns about other things, but no more than anyone else. And you've certainly got less day-to-day concerns. Like, no Premier League footballer is worrying about, can they afford to feed their kids and themselves that evening? Whereas there's a lot of people who are. So I'm not sure I have a huge amount of sympathy for them, especially when I look back, and I see people like Kenny Dalglish and how much he used to play, year on year. Like, this idea that it's some new phenomenon that players are playing this much just isn't true. Like, you look back at Kenny and his Liverpool, actually even look at his when he was at Celtic. So from 71, 72 season onwards, 53 games, 56 games, 59, 51, 53, 54. He joins Liverpool 77, 78 season. 62 games. The next season, 52. Then 60, 54, 62, 58, 51, and 53. That brings us up to 1985, the summer of 85. So we've just gone from basically summer of 71. We've ran through 6 seasons at Celtic. All the way through the summer of 1985. So that's 8 seasons at Liverpool. So that's 14 seasons. And not in one season did he play less than 50 games. Not one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times over 55 games. And 3 times over 60 games. He was playing 42 league matches a year. Plus cups, plus Europe. All of that with far less being done for him, far less in terms of nutrition, far less in terms of training methods, sports science. Didn't have the access to the same type of recuperation equipment. Certainly wasn't traveling in the same type of luxury that the modern players are traveling in. And you can say, oh, well, the games now are much faster. Okay, the games then were much more physical. Not only were they more physical, they weren't being played on lush carpets of grass. They were being played on cabbage patches in a lot of places. Even at Anfield, you go back and watch footage of Liverpool playing in the 70s and early 80s. Look for games in about March, April, and look at the state of the pitch. How these lads didn't just destroy their ankle ligaments each and every week is incredible. So when I see this, and I see players complaining about how many games they have to play now, and yeah, fair enough. They can say, oh, well, we play more international games. If we look again at Kenny, so from 1973, 9 caps, 11 caps, 10, 6, 10, 10, 9, 8, 4, 8. That brings us to 1982. Like, the season's there when he's played 70 games. Like, the seasons we've played 70 games. So it is just hard to really have too much sympathy for the modern player. Like, I think Rodri's a phenomenal player. If we look at his career, so 15-16 is kind of the year he sort of becomes a regular player at senior level. He's playing for Villarreal B team. 34 games. The next year he's in the first team, 31 games. Then he's in the first team again the following year, 47. Moves to Atletico Madrid, 47. Goes to City, 52, 53, 46, 56, and 50. At international level, 4, 7, 6, 13, 9, 9, 9. So, not playing as often even at international level in a lot of years, and not playing anywhere near as often at club level, earning money that Kenny couldn't even have dreamt of, with everything being done for him, with staff at clubs who take care of everything. There are staff at the clubs who set up everything for you. You move to a club, they arrange your hotel, they put you in your hotel, then they arrange viewings for you to go and view properties. You don't have to even look at that yourself. They'll do that for you. Then when you move in, they'll arrange to have all of your utilities and stuff sorted for you. They'll arrange to get your Sky TV and they'll arrange to get your broadband in. They'll take care of everything like that. You need shopping done, they'll arrange to have that done. They'll get your Tesco home delivery or whatever sorted for you. Clubs provide everything for players now. Didn't do that back in the day. Didn't do it at all. So I do have a tough time just finding sympathy for these players. Anyway, 10 things to know ahead of tonight's game. No new injury concerns for Liverpool. It is just Harvey who is out. Federico Chiesa is expected to be on the bench, and Arne Slot has hinted that he will see his first minutes for the club. The predicted Liverpool lineup of Alisson, Bradley, Quansah, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, Salah, Diaz, Nunes. I would hope not. I mean, Conor Bradley against Rafael Leao, given Bradley got absolutely decimated by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Please, let's be serious about these things. Let's talk about form. So our form is better than theirs. That's fine. Dana's third season in the Champions League. There will be no Divock Origi reunion because, well, he's just not in the picture at AC Milan. He will likely be either sat in the stands or sat at home. The suggested team here of Magnon, Emerson, Gabi, Pavlovic, Hernandez, Reinders, Fofana. This is just the team that played at the weekend. They've just put in the team that played at the weekend. 4,000 Reds at the San Siro. Rotation not to blame for Forest defeat, says Arna. Did you know Darwin Núñez has netted 9 times in his 18 European games for the club? Only Mo, Mane, and Fowler. And Roger Hunt have reached double figures in fewer games. So there'll be 19 games for him if he gets his 10th goal. Whereas Mane and Mo were 13, Fowler was 16 and Roger Hunt was 18. It's a new ref for the Reds. Espen Eskes, he's from Norway. So abuse the Norwegian in your life if he gives things against us. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video. Okay. Right. Trainiani captains Liverpool in return to Europe. Liverpool's under-19s were forced to settle for a draw in a frustrating encounter with AC Milan in the UEFA Youth League, with Trainiani captaining a youthful side. Okay. Rio Gamoa came off the bench. So, Miscure, Esdale, Nallo, Pennington, and Lucky at the back. Laffy, Kelly, and Niani in midfield. Morrison, Coney Doherty, and Young in attack. Gamoa came on, Figueroa came on, and Pitt came on. Not a bad result, though, in fairness. Right, let's see. What else do we have here? Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid talk returns. Trent is yet to renew his contract at Liverpool with less than a year remaining. Blah, blah, blah. Real Madrid are known to hold an interest, but reports of possible free transfer cooled in recent months until a new claim from Miguel Delaney. The journalist said Real are already planning their next European era, with Alexander-Arnold one of 4 Premier League players in their sights. Delaney adds, Alexander-Arnold has been constantly talking to Jude Bellingham about Madrid. I mean, I'm not sure how he would know this, unless Trent's brother has made it known, which wouldn't be a surprise. I mean, with the greatest respect, it's not like Miguel Delaney has a particularly good track record on Liverpool-related stuff. And he does very much play on the fact that his first name is Miguel when it comes to claiming Spanish sources. So we'll just put that one in the bin and we'll move on. He might be right. I mean, there's a chance he's right, but I think it's more likely that Trent does sign a renewal. How Trent's England revival lead Liverpool to new heights is the headline article on AnfieldIndex.com. There is also a tactical breakdown of tonight's game. There's some predicted 11s. There's a piece about Chiesa. And then podcast-wise, there is the press conference pod. So Arna's entire press conference is also Alisson's part of the press conference up as well. Then Dave Davis has done his post-press conference pod where he's looked at both and given his reactions. There is a new Liverbirds pod. It's Amy, Kate, Randy, and Gay. And there is the new Under Pressure. Hamza was away, busy with work. Obviously, a very important man, works for the Times of London. And then Cy Brundish, Phil Barter joined Dan Kennett for a good old chat about the Nottingham Forest game. There is a Scouted, which I believe is out as well for this game. So there's lots to listen to. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. I'm on Raw tonight if anyone wants to tune in. My mood will be dependent on the result, of course. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network. Throw the best birthday party ever that your child will always talk about. Big Air Trampoline Park inside Fieldhouse USA at the Polaris Mall can do just that. Award-winning birthday party packages start at just $300, and all birthday parties include pizza, drinks, a party room with a party host, grip socks, printed invitations, and all 40 attractions at Big Air Trampoline Park. It's a birthday party you and your kids will never forget. Book your party today. Big Air Columbus, where the fun never ends. Visit BigAirUSA.com/Columbus for details.